So that also taps for 3 mana now. And we just have so much mana now. And we have our tutor set up. Yeah, this is just extremely threatening. Hello YouTuber, welcome to this fine day, and today we're going to have a look at Tyvar Kell in Historic Brawl. This deck aims to win by overwhelming the opponent with a ton of elves and just elf-balling our way to a Craterhoof Behemoth. So when Craterhoof Behemoth enters the battlefield, all creatures get +X and trample, where X is the number of creatures that we control. So let's just kill somebody. Our commander, Tyvar Kell, is a 4-mana Planeswalker. With elves you control have now tap for a black, even if they wouldn't tap for anything. With a +1 we untap an elf and put 2/+1/1 counters on it. And the 0 ability is create a 1/1 elf warrior creature token, and the -7 is pretty threatening. You get an emblem with whenever you cast an elf spell, it gains haste until end of turn, and you draw 2 cards. So hopefully we just, like, if we emblem Tyvar Kell, we should just be able to win basically immediately. So there are 2 ways you can go. Like, you can build an elf deck. So first and foremost is just, you know, pure tribal, just go with anthems, buff your team, just, you know, creature beatdown. And then for elves, you have the elf ball style. So that is, you're going to play a bunch of elves that ramp. You're going to play them anyways most of the time. But you're also going to have cards like Rona's Monument that reduce the cost of your elves and reward you for playing more elves. You're going to then draw a ton of cards from effects like Beast Whisperer or Soul of Harvest. And you're basically just trying to draw your deck, draw, and then you are going to gain more mana with things like Circle of Dreams Druid, so it adds 1 green for each creature we control, or something along the lines of Marwyn the Nurturer. So whenever an elf enters the battlefield under control, it gets a +1/+1 counter, and then tap, add an amount of green equal to Marwyn's power, and that is obviously going to be really good with a +1 of Tyvar Kell again. So this is the plan I chose to go with, because frankly I love just a little bit of a combo in there. We are very light on interaction. The interaction we do care about are like Thoughtseizes, Inquisitions, Duresses. We have the 1 Bone Shards, because we're going to draw a bunch of cards, right? But sometimes we just need a Bone Shards. And then we have the Brain Maggot, which is pretty interesting tech, because what we can do, we can search out the Brain Maggot with Finale of Devastation. We have a bunch of creature tutors actually. We have Vivian Monsters Advocate, so we -2, play something and then search out an elf. Or like any creature with lesser mana value and put it onto the field. Or we use the Vivian of the Hunt and +2, and then we sack a creature, and if we do, we search for a creature with mana value equal to +1 of the initial mana value of the creature. So that way we can search for our Brain Maggots and just exile something from their hand. Again, this is more of the combo elves version, and I think I would like to have more 1-drops in the deck than I currently do, but this is the version I'm currently at, and you probably eventually want to cut some like maybe higher cost elves to add more 1-drops, but this version here is made to it's made to high roll a bit, right? If we lose, we're going to lose a bit more than other elf decks, or a bit harder, but if we win, we are really going to win. And like this deck can be extremely explosive. So hope you enjoyed, and if you do, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, all the good stuff, and let's do this. We are ready to play against Thassa. And let's see. Do I like this hand? Thassa looks to go a bit grindy and then try to finish it off with infinite X returns. So their commander blinks something each turn, and that's basically all it does. And then you can like play a Time Warp X return, blink a creature that returns Time Warp, and now you have infinite turns. So I think this hand can be faster, right? Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Oh my god, yeah, this this is a turn to Incubation Druid. We want to draw one additional land, right? So it's a turn to Incubation Druid, and then a turn 3 Tyvar Kell, untap Incubation Druid, but now it has counters, and then it taps for 3 mana, and we can use that mana to immediately play Zavala, Heart of the Wilds. I just really want my opponent to tap out here. But it looks like they're not, so I think I'm just going to take this time to... I could either play my red card now, or I could just limit their mana with a Reclamation Sage, which I think I'm a fan of. Yeah. They're just going to... Ah, interesting. They're not going to crack the Mindstone to draw a card. They're floating the mana instead. What are they going to use it on? Brazen Borrower. Yeah, that limits our tempo like a lot, actually. So there, the Zavala would have been the better play. They missed the land drop? No, they didn't. I think I want to trade this. No, I don't. I don't, because I don't really care if they duplicated Clone Crafter, and I want to have this one additional mana here. Yeah, I'm just going to play my Tyvar Kell here.
My heroics will be known in realms beyond realms.
Interesting. Do we want to take up Tyvar Kell? I think we just want to gain the loyalty here, honestly. And then we have a 4/3 blocker. Then, yep, they're going to Thassa, link something here. It's fine. I can play the Great Hedge here, and I think I want to actually do that. So the way I do this is... Oh yeah, especially with the Dark Ritual. So add 1 black. Now untap this. Now this has a lot of power, right? I can go Great Hedge. I think I want to go Dark Ritual as well. Now do this. Great Hedge. And I could just drop the Vivian here. Yeah, I think I like that. Vivian. I'm going to plus and create a reach creature to block the flyer. Now I'm going to play the Incubation Druid. That gets a counter from the Great Hedge as well. So that also taps for 3 mana now. And we just have so much mana now. And we have our tutor set up. Yeah, this is just extremely, extremely threatening. What a great, great turn. Okay, they milled us. They milled the Rona's Monument, which can be pretty relevant. So now their Devotion is active. That means that they can start attacking with a Thassa. It is an indestructible creature. They know that what they're doing, they're attacking with the Cloudskin Seer as well, because I'm always going to block the Thassa because I want my creatures to, like, my Planeswalkers to survive, and this just taps for 3, which is amazing, right? So... Okay, what are we doing here? So this is a spot where the Brain Maggot picking away at their hand can be pretty relevant, honestly. I could just draw a ton of cards if I just vanquish this banner first. Yeah, I have a Duress. I don't exactly need the Brain Maggot right now. The one thing I'm considering is how I want to play out this Vivian Monstrous Advocate, but I'm fairly certain that I just want to have a reach creature anyways, right? So if that is the case, I want to produce mana with this. Yeah. I want to just start naming Elf here. So name Elf. So now add 3 green. We are playing the Elvish Warmaster. Oh wow, the Castle Garenbrick is obviously a great draw. I think I want to plus untap Incubation Druid, and I think one more draw is going to be more valuable here, so one more mana is going to be more valuable than 1 draw. And with that, like, I could try to peel off 2 lands off the top with the Oracle, but the Castle Garenbrick tapping for extra mana is just super relevant. Okay. That's a Shaper Sanctuary, that is pretty good. Yep. Tireless Provisioner. We want to draw another land here optimally. Oh wow, that's pretty interesting. I think I want to pick away at their hand, duress them, see what's going on. Yeah, and I want to take the board wipe here. The reason why I didn't start with this is because I just simply didn't know what my turn was going to look like with the getting cards from the top of the deck.
Diversity is our greatest strength.
Yeah. Pretty good. And I think we just have lethal next turn because we can... oh, they returned the Incubation Druid, I assume? No, okay. They're not blocking our mana here, which is great. Also, they played A-Tyvar as a land. Yeah, so I have just lethal here. The way I kill them is at 3 CMC I have a tutor for my... for my Crater Hoof. So I have a 4-mana creature here in the form of Yawgmoth in position. Oh, they're bouncing the Incubation Druid, I assume. I still think I have enough mana, right? I still think I have enough mana. Let me count. Oh, okay. I don't need... Yep. Make a treasure. So yeah. I wanna pay my mana here. Then I minus. I am going to play a Yawgmoth. Yep. And that fetches out a... Where are you? Fierce Empath. Enters the battlefield. Search your library for a creature card with mana cost 6 or greater. Yep. And we get our Crater Hoof. And we still don't have a land on top? Oh no, there is a land. Yep. Okay. Yep, yeah, and they know what's coming. We're going to play the Crater Hoof and just overrun them. GG! We are ready to play against Chatterfang. And this is a matchup I would like to be on a draw. No luck. If we had ramp here to play turn 3 Oracle of Moldiah, this would be a keep, but I think this is a mulligan. Like, the great thing here is I have a duress to eventually, like, protect my things, but yeah, this is just much better. Yeah. Okay. Shambling Gust, sure. And again, the matchup is not really that great for us. Oh wow, what a hand. I think I just want to take off the pressure by taking this. Yeah, I was going to say the matchup is not super great because they can cheaply remove our elves. And that is just not something I'm interested in, to be perfectly honest. Okay. Did they draw a kill spell here? No way. I assume they're going to take the play Chatterfang. No blocks. And I think I want to... I could play Tyvar Kell, right? But then they can just remove this Woodland Mystic. No, I can. Oh, I think if I just put counters on this Woodland Mystic and keep it as a blocker, that's pretty good. The problem is Chatterfang has Forest Walk, and that makes it so if I control a forest, which I do, this thing is unblockable, which is really annoying right now. So the other option is going Elvish Warmaster, and then Brain Maggot, and hope they don't have another token maker in the hand apart from the past summoning, which honestly it seems fairly unlikely. So yeah, I'm just going to make this play here. Now that can block the Shambling Gust. Yep, now they make more squirrels, but what can you do, right? Yep. If I block this, they make a squirrel from that. It's fine. Heartless Act. Oh, okay. That's an interesting way to do it. I support it. Now the problem here is that I now don't have the black sources to play Yawgmoth. Like, I'm very, very light on black sources in this deck specifically. Okay. Because I can, like, the elves, I have triple green cost in the deck that I have to cover, right? And the elves can tap for black under the effect of Tyvar Kell. Okay. I could just drop a Yawgmoth. Like, 0, make an elf, Yawgmoth. But that's just probably not great. I think I want to limit their pest summoning here, force them to sacrifice the squirrel. Okay, so start on the Brain Maggot. And that is obviously just going to die, right, to the squirrel. Like, they just use 1 mana, sacrifice X squirrels, and the Brain Maggot gets -X, so they just sacrifice 1 squirrel. That's fine. I just want them to sacrifice squirrels. Oh wow! I got punished. I got punished. Yeah, let's grab a black here. Yep. Get you. So, if they didn't kill this in response, I would have. It's whenever this says whenever 1 or more elves enter the battlefield under my control, I get a 1/1, right? So I could have gotten a 1/1 for free if I just played this and 0 on Tyvar Kell. But I mean, if this was on the deck, they would have also just, you know, removed in response. I don't think it matters too much. Like, they would have made their plays either way, honestly. So now they can sacrifice 2 squirrels to give something -2/2. And that should be the death of the Elvish Warmaster. But this is a matchup where I think the Yawgmoth Ran Physician can come in handy. Okay. If I just play Tyvar Kell here, I just don't want to drop Tyvar Kell on an empty board, right? Just so awkward. If I drop Llanowar Tribe, yeah, just drop the mana, and then next turn I can go Tyvar Kell Yawgmoth and kill one of these pests. Champion of Lamphold, oh, that is extremely scary. No, they had the... Oh, if they didn't have a token maker to go with that, that would have been so amazing. Yeah, I can't block this because they're just giving this -2/2. It's pretty problematic, honestly. Tyvar Kell. And
Our legacy will celebrate us like the
oh, this is just so awkward. I think we want up this. Yeah. Tap for 3 green, Herald's Horn, just dump out our hand. We're just slightly behind here. Because we're not able to block anything of their team, right? We're just... Ah, this was so close. Oh well. Because, no, now they flash back the shatter of the squirrel. And now their team is just so large. Need to find a kill spell for this, but I'm running very few kill spells. Like, we're supposed to be faster, but we're not currently. Okay. How can we do this? They just killed the Yawgmoth as well, I assume. Meat Hook Massacre. Yeah, that's a way to end the game. GG. Great. Yeah, awesome. We are ready to play against Aura. And yeah, this seems like a fine hand. Yeah, just mana. Just straight up mana. Opponent goes first though. Elves really likes to go first, if you haven't noticed. So Aura, Skyclave, Hierophant. What they do, they play more and more clerics. Usually, like, it's a bit weird, honestly. Like, the Aura builds don't really know what they're doing. Like, there is no, oh, you want to do this specifically. It's just Cleric Tribal with the reanimation subplan. Yeah. Phyrexian Tower is an interesting card in this deck, because I can just sacrifice an elf like Elvish Visionary. And it allows me for a turn to Tyvar Kell if I have like a Llanowar Elves on turn 1. Interesting. No blocks. I think I just want to drop Tyvar Kell and aggressively uptick. Like I'm really trying to push the ultimate here right now. That's what my game plan currently is, because I know that their board presence is not going to be super overwhelming. And I know 2 cards in hand. Well, now only 1 card in hand is a mystery card, right? Yeah. They can't really swing in here. Unless they want to sacrifice something. So this is actually quite interesting. So what they're doing here is, if I kill this Archfiend's Vessel, then they can sacrifice the Selfless Glyphweaver, Aura triggers, and they return another Cleric, the Archfiend's Vessel. And now they have a 5/5 with flying. So I actually can't block that. Interesting. Yeah, I should have foreseen this play.
Let's make a show of it.
So, yeah. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's start on the Elvish Visionary. Okay. Ooh, that's a heroic intervention. I like that. So we tap you, untap you. I think I want the additional body on the field here from the Visionary, instead of sacrificing it to Phyrexian Tower. The way we can win this is just with board presence, honestly. Okay. Elfhame Disciple. I discard a card? Sure. I want to discard this forest here, because I have enough green already right now. Okay, how do we do this? I assume we start with this. What elf do I want to get here? I know what I can get. I have some great 4-mana elves. So now do Pyro of Heroes. And then, do I want to use the Phyrexian Tower right now? No, let's tap this for... Taps only for... Wait, yeah, I was going to say this interface is misleading. Yeah, so this taps for 3. Yep. I'm going to sacrifice the Faceless Agent. And I think I just want to pull ahead in card advantage right now. I could go for a Craterhoof as well, but I think I want to go for a Beast Whisperer. I can sacrifice the Visionary to get a Craterhoof out of the deck, right? So I'm just using this. So don't be scared if you play Rexage and the opponent doesn't have an enchantment, because you have to target your 1 enchantment, but it's a May. So I want to decline this. And I can just... Yeah. Fraileys. I'm going to untap the Canopy Tactician, and now I can block their team and have my heroic intervention up, right? And starting next turn I can just get so much card advantage here. It's really, really disgusting. Also, if I top deck a land, I can ultimate Tyvar Kell, because I can turn my Elvish Visionary into a 3-drop that when a land enters, I get to proliferate. Yeah, I would love to give that hexproof, thank you. Yep. And now, I mean, they can't swing in all they want right now, but if I top deck a land, that is just a Tyvar Kell going through. Which is very scary. Oh yes, beautiful. So again, the way we do this is, I mean, we probably just tap this anyways every time. Oh, also, I want to float the mana from the Visionary first. Visionary grabs... What do you grab? You get an Evolution Sage. Evolution Sage. Land enters, I proliferate onto the Tyvar Kell. So now, before I do anything else, I think I want to float my mana from these, because Tyvar Kell is about to leave the battlefield when I ultimate. Okay. So now I'm going to seek an elf card. I can also, yeah, I just ultimate Freyleys, Skyshroud Partisan, because I proliferated with the Evolution Sage. That gives me Regal Force, I then draw for each green creature I control. And now we're going to do business, right? Because I just don't go Tyvar Kell again. I think I want to use more mana here. I really don't need this Rex Sage, honestly. Going to use the Herald's Horn, just make everything cheaper now. I'm going to name Elf, yep, and I don't think I don't want to spend the mana on the Guardian Project right now. It's not like we draw 3 cards per Elf we play. Yep. Yep. And that's going to be really disgusting. Skyshroud Lookout, sure. We seek an elf from that. And I assume the opponent will surrender here shortly, but if they do, we're like, this is effectively 3 because this is 1 mana and taps for 1 mana. So now we're just going very aggressively through our deck. And then we are eventually going to find some of our big mana elves, right? That we can haste in. That's a Crater Hoof, that's pretty good. Yep. So now, what are we looking at? How much mana is this? Yeah, this is just slightly off, honestly. Oh, interesting. We could go Vivian, but that doesn't do too much. Yeah, I'm just cycling this Sylvan Ranger away, basically. Yep. And we're producing too much black mana here, right now. Take action. Because we just need green mana, but we're paying green to get black here. That's why we use this to untap the Snowland. This also taps for green, so that is again just going even in mana, which is pretty great. Oh, there is a Great Henge. That is, you know, pretty great. So we float the 1 mana from Tyvar Kell. No, we want to... this taps for 3 green, this taps for green, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, so untap Canopy Tactician. So now we go for a Great Henge. That is effectively 3 because it costs 2 and taps for 2. And now we can just... a Paradise Druid for 1. It's basically free again. And we draw 4 cards. We can also gain mana here with the Pollenbright Druid. Because what's going to happen, since we have an Incubation Druid without a counter yet, we can use the Pollenbright Druid to put a counter on our Incubation Druid. Okay, so we go with Pollenbright Druid, put a counter on the Incubation Druid. Yes. Yep. And that should give us Crater Hoof. But we are missing 1 more haster, honestly. Do we have a free elf in hand right now? No, we really don't. This is just a bit of lethal. I think we have to dig deeper for a big elf. Yeah, and if we dig deeper, Llanowar Visionary, it's just better. Yeah, so now I'm back at 7 mana. Sadly enough, but I think I just have to... Yeah, there it is. That's an Elvish Archer. That is exactly what we were looking for. Because we cast that. And we tap you for triple green. We go for Elvish Druid. Yep. And now we have a ton of mana, right? And this is the power of ultimating Tyvar Kell in this deck, as you can see. Yep. So now Elvish Druid taps for 13. We play the Crater of Behemoth. We draw more and more cards, and now all of these are untapped as opposed to tapped, right? And they got haste from Tyvar Kell. And that is lethal. GG. We are done with the game, so I hope you enjoyed them as much as I did. And yeah, Tyvar Kell is definitely a commander in Historic Brawl. So Tyvar Kell, we have a bunch of options for Elf Tribal. I think Tyvar Kell is currently the strongest if you want to go into black, because while we do not play a lot of black cards, the black cards we do play are actually pretty important. So Phyrexian Tower can just cheat 1 more mana, and that 1 more mana, as you saw in one of the games, did actually matter. And also you can just cheat out your commander on turn 2 with this and a Llanowar Elves, right? So that's pretty disgusting. Yawgmoth Thran Physician, we're not a sacrifice deck. The reason actually why he's here is for double black we can proliferate and going for a Tyvar Kell ultimate quicker. And Brain Maggot and your other hand disruption effects. Those effects are also the reason why you would want to be in black. And it's like, it doesn't look like much, but especially that Brain Maggot can do so much work with all your creature tutors. It is pretty respectable. So for all intents and purposes, I think the best Golgari Elves commander currently is Tyvar Kell. So the deck again is a combo version that just likes to storm off, just wants to ultimate Tyvar Kell surprisingly fast, and just absolutely destroy the opponent with that. But I think a very, very viable strategy, and probably a better strategy if you are in a budget and you don't have most of these cards, is going to be the beatdown plan. So what you're going to do is you're going to take out the cards like Rona's Monument, like the cost reducers. You don't really need those, right? You don't need Cemetery Prowler. You can do plays in this deck like Vivian. Play your Nylea from hand, searching for a Cemetery Prowler, and now all your elves cost 2 generic mana less, which is extremely powerful. But basically all the cost reduction, you don't need any of that cute stuff. And then just instead you add in more 1-drops, more anthems to like I believe I have most of the anthems as well, but mostly more 1-drops, and then you're more on a beatdown plan, right? But if you want to play this specific combo version on a budget, what can you cut? What do you need? And again, this is a bit more expensive. Elves in general are a deck that is, on one hand, pretty budget friendly, because you don't need much. Like these are like, you have some really powerful options here, and in the common and uncommon slot, right? But you also have some really crucial cards that are going to, you know, cost you a bunch of wildcards. If you play elves and you don't play a really aggressive low to the ground version, you really want to have Crater of as your finisher, and to pair the Crater of up, you want to with something, you want to have the Finale, right, as a tutor, and you want to have the Vivian to search for your Fierce Empath that searches for your Crater of again, right? You want that engine going for you, right? I'm personally also using a Soul of Harvest. There is a very similar 6 mana card. You can use that instead. That draws on cast, not on ETB. but this is basically just as a second target for my Fierce Empath when I think Creative is currently not the game plan I want to go with. Then you want your mana and your draw, right? Those are also the very, very important cards. You don't necessarily need for more finishes. Like Allosaurus Shepherd is a protection spell. You tutor it with it for a Finale of Devastation against blue deck, and they cry because they can't counter anything, right? But that's besides the point. The point is, what is going to get you started is mana. So everything that produces mana you want, and everything that draws you cards, because that is what you're going to do with all that mana. So something like the Great Hedge, Vanquish's Banner, Beast Whisperer, even Toski, right? Oracle of Modiah is also a form of card advantage in this deck, because now you play the lands off the top and then you draw into actual elves instead of drawing into the lands. So that is what you want to focus on, and you can cut the cards that are basically not in these two categories, right? So like Vivian of the Hunt searches your creative in a way, but it's definitely not necessary, right? You don't, Turn Timber can just be a land. You can cut the Yawgmoth, honestly, right? You can again cut Nylea, cut Agadeems for a land, and like Cemetery Pro, you don't need that. But overall, it is a deck that one might consider to be pretty expensive because there are so many cards that you want to have, but at the same time you're not going to have a weak deck if you're missing like half of these cards, which is pretty nice. Like it's a budget-friendly deck in a way that you can pick it up and you can easily upgrade it, sink a bunch of wildcards in, and then you get rewarded for it. Yeah. Anyways, this is my version of Tyvar Kell in Historic Brawl. Hope you enjoyed as much as I did, and yeah. I will see you in the next video.